Most people assume life insurance companies just guess at your premium, but they're actually running a quiet, clinical investigation into every corner of your biology. And if you know how to play that game, you can win it. The difference between paying $300 a month and paying $80 a month for the same coverage could literally come down to whether your doctor caught your blood pressure on a bad day. Let's back up and talk about what's actually happening when you apply for life insurance, because the system is more fascinating and more gameable than anyone tells you. Underwriters, the people behind the curtain deciding your fate, are essentially actuaries with access to your medical file, your prescription history, and sometimes even your driving record, all being fed into a risk model that spits out a number you're expected to just accept. The catalyst for why premiums vary so wildly comes down to one deceptively simple concept: mortality risk stratification. Think of it like a restaurant menu, where the preferred plus tier is the filet mignon of health profiles. And if your labs, your lifestyle, and your body mass index all whisper, long life ahead, you eat well, meaning you pay almost nothing. Here's where it gets technical, but stay with us, because this is where the money is. The big three that underwriters scrutinize hardest are your A1C hemoglobin levels, a 3-month blood sugar snapshot, your lipid panel showing cholesterol ratios, and your blood pressure readings. And shaving even a few points off any one of these can drop you an entire rate class. There was a time, maybe around 2015 to 2019, when people were flooding into term life policies. Rates were competitive, and the general attitude was fill out the form and get covered. Now, with post-pandemic actuarial recalibrations and underwriters tightening their models around long COVID, metabolic health data, and mental health disclosures, even a mild anxiety diagnosis disclosed 3 years ago can quietly cost you $60 a month without anyone explaining why. Psychologically, most applicants feel powerless in this process. You hand over your medical records and wait, like sending your college application into the void. But experts, like doctors, who specialize in life insurance medicals, sometimes called insurance-friendly physicians, will tell you that preparation, not luck, is what separates the preferred rate from the standard rate. Historically, underwriting has moved in waves in the 1980s. HIV changed everything. After 9/11, aviation and terrorism riders multiplied. And post-pandemic, we're in another inflection point where insurers are quietly repricing risk they don't fully understand yet. What feels new and uniquely scary today, that persistent sense that the rules changed overnight, is actually a pattern that repeats every decade or so, though that doesn't make the premium shock sting any less. Here's one that blows people's minds. Nicotine-free confirmation via a cotinine urine or saliva test is one of the single most impactful lab results in underwriting, capable of cutting your premium nearly in half. If you quit smoking more than 12 months ago and can prove it through testing, you can move from a smoker rate to a non-smoker rate. And we're talking a difference that could compound to tens of thousands of dollars over a 20-year term. This topic fits neatly into a broader, predictable cycle where medical science advances, insurers slowly catch up, and consumers who get educated early always pay less than those who wait. We've seen this play out in communities like the FIRE movement, Financial Independence Retire Early, where obsessive optimization of every dollar, including insurance premiums, is practically a team sport, with Reddit threads full of people sharing their exact lab numbers and rate class outcomes. One of the biggest misconceptions we have to kill right now is that disclosing a past mental health diagnosis automatically tanks your application. Many insurers today distinguish heavily between a single treated episode of depression with documented recovery versus an ongoing medication-managed condition, and walking in with a letter from your psychiatrist showing a clean bill of health can actually neutralize what you feared was a disqualifying flag. Practically speaking, the moves that consistently reward disciplined applicants are these. Get a full metabolic panel done 3 to 6 months before you apply. Work with your doctor to address anything correctable, and time your application when your health is genuinely at its best, not the week after the holidays. Underwriting is not a sprint where conviction wins. It's a long game where process, patience, and showing up with the cleanest possible snapshot of your biology is the entire strategy. Size your coverage to what you actually need rather than what sounds impressive, because over-insuring yourself into a higher premium bracket is one of the most common and quietly devastating mistakes we see applicants make. Discipline here means not letting fear drive you toward $1 million policy when a $500,000 policy, underwritten smartly, serves your family just as well at half the cost. At the philosophical level, the people who come out of this process feeling empowered rather than processed are the ones who accepted that they can't control every variable, but they can absolutely control their preparation. Whether your labs come back clean or you end up in a standard rate class, knowing you did the work and made rational decisions is the only outcome worth chasing. And honestly, even if the underwriter comes back with a rate that isn't perfect, that's not failure, that's data. And you can always reapply in 12 to 24 months with improved health metrics and a completely different result. The market isn't a one-time verdict, it's a conversation, and preparation always gives you more to say. If any of this has you thinking about your broader financial picture, whether that's real estate investing, home contracting projects, or finding the right lending partners, check out our links in the description below, and let's get you started on the right path.